Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out to the grand opening of Fire Station 2. Today is a really good day for public safety. It's a really good day for Albuquerque, and for a couple of reasons. Today we're actually dedicating 2 fire stations. This is the first of the 2. Later this afternoon, we'll be dedicating Fire Station 7 on the west side of Albuquerque. I'll wait for the doors to close here so we can. Warm it up a little bit in here. So as I was saying, today is an absolutely fantastic day for public safety for a couple of reasons. We've got Fire Station 2 grand opening today. We've got a door that has it. There we go. We've got Fire Station 7. We're going to be having a grand opening this afternoon. Right next to me, we have a brand new $500,000 engine for Fire Station 2, and we'll be doing the same thing at Fire Station 7. It's good for the brave men and women who get up every day and go out and serve us with the Albuquerque Fire Department. We have one of the finest fire departments in the country. They deserve facilities and equipment that allow them to be safe and to serve the public. It's a good day for the public because we have better facilities with the opening of these new stations. We have better response times, better capabilities, and better equipment. So I can't say what it means to me as a mayor to see everybody come together, because this has actually been a long road to get here. If you look back at the fire station, the existing Fire Station 2, it was an older building. It was a building with older equipment. We had firefighters who were sleeping near the apparatus, and it just really wasn't an optimal situation for anybody. So there were plans in several years ago to maybe do a renovation to the existing Fire Station 2. But we got together with Chief Breen. We started talking about this opportunity to work with the University of New Mexico and do a land swap so that we can have the brand new fire station that we're standing in today. I certainly want to thank Carolyn Abeta. She's here with us today. She's a UNM regent. Thank you and all the regents. This wouldn't have happened without the cooperation and collaboration with the University of New Mexico. David Harris is with us here today, the Vice President with the University of New Mexico. This land swap, this building that we're standing in today, is on a piece of property that's actually was owned by the University of New Mexico. We approached the university. We had meetings all the way with the university presidents, all the way through the facilities folks at the university. We talked about needing a piece of land, and we thought this was a great piece of land. The university, and I know David may talk about this as well, needed a piece of property to do a community health clinic. So we had a piece of property on 4th Street. So the reason we're here today is because we were able to work between the city of Albuquerque and the University of New Mexico to make that land swap possible. Rob Perry, my CAO, who is here with us today, had a lot to do with that. He really worked hard, and it took a lot of meetings. It was not an easy thing to get that done. So Rob, thank you for all of your efforts on that. This fire station we're standing in today really is credited to the taxpayers of Albuquerque, who went to the polling place and voted for bonds to build this. This is built with GEO bond money from 2003 through 2007 through the GEO bond process, and almost $1.3 million of the cost of this total station was brought to you by the taxpayers through the GEO bond process. We also had a number of other funding sources to put this together, including funds from the red light camera program, funds from public safety tax, and others. So it really came together through a lot of hard work by a lot of people. We're going to have several speakers talk to you today about what it means to them to have this new fire station and their involvement. Mike Riordan is here with us today. Councilor Garduno is here with us today. Councilor Meyers is here with us today. The next generation of firefighters, Josh Riordan, is here with us today. Chief Breen is also here. So let's go ahead and have some speakers come up. I'm going to start by introducing Chief James Breen. Jim has really been an advocate for this department. He's in my office, if not daily, weekly, talking about the department, talking about improvements, talking about facilities, talking about equipment, talking about things that are going to keep our firefighters safe and allow our firefighters to serve our community. I'm really proud of him. He's done a wonderful job, and with that, I want to have Chief Breen say a few words. Chief.
Thank you so much. Well, good morning, and this is really a great day for AFD. This public safety project started about 3 years ago when we began discussions with the new mayor, Richard Berry, and City Councilor Isaac Benton about the feasibility of abandoning a much delayed and an impractical remodel of the old Fire Station 2 and relocating the fire station to a much better strategic location that would better serve the citizens of Albuquerque. These discussions were a true collaborative effort between numerous stakeholders in local government and community interest groups that resulted in the completion of this vital public safety project that really demonstrates good executive leadership, key partnerships, and sound community priorities that produces something of great value that best serves the public interest. When I was appointed fire chief by Mayor Richard Berry, he gave me full latitude to evaluate the current state and direction of the department and make the necessary changes and recommendations that would best serve the citizens of Albuquerque. And at that time, the last administration was planning to do a costly remodel of Fire Station 2 that was neither practical nor adequately provided for the service delivery demands of the residents served by Fire Station 2. I'm extremely honored and proud to be a part of this grand project because, as I stated before, the last administration, this project wasn't even on the books. And for this project to be completed in these challenging financial times is nothing less than remarkable and clearly demonstrates the commitment that this administration has to enhancing public safety services. The original Fire Station 2 was constructed in 1925 as a single-engine firehouse and is 87 years old. It was expanded and extensively remodeled in 1955, and its total size was 2,705 feet and is situated on a half-acre site. This fire station, New 2's, as you can see, is a 3-bay fire station. It is 7,962 square feet on a little more than a 1-acre site. The location of the old fire station had a significant service overlap with 2 other existing fire stations, 1 and 3. While the new location is in an ideal strategic location that will significantly improve the overall response times for Fire Station 2, and it enhances the emergency service delivery to the residents and businesses along the South I-25 corridor, the Albuquerque Sunport, the UNM South Campus, and this section of Gibson Boulevard. The new fire station provides a much-needed, highly visible public safety presence along this section of Gibson Boulevard, and the Field of Dreams philosophy suggests that if you build it, they will come. And we believe that this facility will become a pillar that will result in new business investments along this section of Gibson Boulevard. And furthermore, this location of this fire station further advances the mutual and automatic aid agreement with Bernalillo County Fire Department and Kirtland Air Force Base Fire Department. And although not all the apparatus bays are currently occupied, the 3-bay design allows for future expansion, capability to accommodate the placement or relocation of emergency response resources as the city continues to grow. You might have noticed a young man standing among us today, and as the mayor said, this is Josh Riordan, and he's the son of Michael Riordan, who's the Director of Municipal Development. Michael was instrumental in the design and construction of this great project, and I invited Josh to be with us today for several reasons. First of all, he believed in this project as much as anyone. And second of all, as you can see, his enthusiasm level and his attire show that he's ready for duty. And thirdly, his youth and admiration capture the dreams of a young boy who one day wishes to serve his fellow man and fight fire and save lives. You can ask any firefighter here today, and we know that we are the heroes of our youth, and we're blessed to have the opportunity to serve, and we understand that such an honor comes with great responsibility. So it's great to have him up here with us today. And on behalf of the men and women of the Albuquerque Fire Department, I'd like to thank Mayor Richard Berry, the Albuquerque City Council, specifically Councilor Isaac Benton, and to the citizens that participated in the process and supported this important public safety project. Thank you.
We have a fire chief that really cares. This guy's a true believer. He truly loves the men and women of his department. He's looking out for them consistently. He's looking out for our community every day. It's been a joy to serve with you, sir. This wouldn't have happened without Chief Breen. There's a lot of people to thank today, but he's been a key driver for this, and I just want to say thanks again. Next, I'm going to bring up Councilor Roxanna Meyers. she's our newest city councilor. She's actually the current councilor in this district, and I think this is a pretty good Christmas present for a new city councilor, so we'll let her say a few words as well. Roxanna Meyers.
I know, I was just thinking of a bike, but a fire truck is really cool. Good morning, and thank you, Mayor and Chief Brennan. It's really an honor to be here, and I can see what kind of collaboration this really took. It's not an easy thing to swap property, get this done, get this built, pull this kind of team together. So from the voters to UNM to city department staff, it's really quite a feat, this kind of collaboration. You can also see, I think to be a great city, you have to have a great public safety departments. And obviously the fire department is key to that. And this just speaks to the mayor's commitment and the administration's commitment to making that happen. To be a great city, we've got to have great public safety. And I think this kind of facility, and we call this an apparatus, right? I would call it a fire truck, but that's just me, but it looks awesome, and it looks like it can do really great things, along with the great men and women that you have here at the fire department. The other thing that I just kind of want to point out is that this is, as the mayor said, one of 2 fire stations. So I think it's a compliment to this administration that the mayor sees the taxpayers' money is well spent, because you didn't have to pay for 2 designs. These 2 fire departments these 2 fire stations are mirror images of each other, and it was really a good use of taxpayer money. So thank you very much, Mayor, for doing that. And I'm honored to be serving the district, and I can't think of a better way to kick off a new year than a brand new fire station and a brand new fire truck. So thank you very much.
Next, I want to bring up a gentleman who I got a chance to know when I was in the state legislature. He's kind of the budget guru, if you will, in many, many ways for the University of New Mexico, also through the state of New Mexico. He knows how the numbers work, and frankly, once again, we're going to say this a lot today, but we just wouldn't be standing here today without David Harris. This land swap was not an easy thing. And like I say, we had meetings with myself, but it took the mayor of the city getting together with the president of the university and to get this done. And David really helped facilitate a lot of that, helped us figure out the ins and outs of how the university worked. You know, the desire was always there, but like a lot of things, sometimes in between governments, it takes longer and it's more difficult than it should be. And David really helped us navigate those waters. So with that, I'm going to introduce Vice President David Harris from the University of New Mexico.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I really appreciate the accolades. Probably not fully deserved, but I'll accept it anyway. You know, as I was reflecting on the comments I was going to make today, it really occurs to me, and I don't think we recognize it as much as we should, but we've got some really great public institutions here in Albuquerque. Of course, we've got the city, we've got Bernalillo County, we've got the school system, CNM and UNM, and I think for the most part, we rarely work with a common purpose. But I think in this particular case, we really got it right. And hopefully this will lead to other partnerships that can better the lives of all citizens of Albuquerque. I'm really pleased about this particular location. I think it's been mentioned cryptically that we had some difficulty in finding this location. Chief Breen was very firm in where he wanted to have the station located, primarily for public safety purposes. And of course, I think our regions were equally firm in their belief and you know, in executing their fiduciary responsibilities, that they had some other goals for this particular land. But in the end, I think common sense prevailed, And of course, it wouldn't have happened without the support of our regions. I would like to mention our Director of Real Estate, Kim Murphy, who's here today. Kim, put your hand up. He's the one who really facilitated this from the document perspective. And I would just like to conclude by saying on behalf of our regions and our administration, I hope that future collaborative efforts present themselves. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Thank you. I was going to mention Kim here in just a minute, and we've got Greg Smith here from our Department of Municipal Development. He's our attorney that handles a lot of this for us too. So the fact that these two guys are actually in the room together smiling today, I think is very good news. And I know they're shaking hands now. Look at that. That's great. And I hope you and David and Region, you appreciate the local color scheme. We have the silver, kind of the silver and the cherry to go with now that we're near the university facilities. So that's great. You know, we've talked a little bit this morning about this idea that Fire Station 2 is really slated for a renovation that was probably not going to be the best for our firefighters in particular, and maybe not the best for public safety. And when we sat down and had that first conversation with Councilor Benton, it was right away, you know, if this is the right thing to do, if this is the best thing for our community, let's do it. Ike is out of town today, and his assistant is out of town today as well. So we've invited Councilor Rey Garduno, whose district butts up against this, and who will also, I'm sure, whose district will receive calls out of this particular fire station to come and say a few words on behalf of Councilor Benton and the City Council. So, Councilor Garduno, thanks for your support today.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. You notice the rest of the folks don't need glasses, so they're winging it. I'm going to have to read mine. Well, thank you for being here, and it's absolutely correct when the mayor and others have said that this is a momentous day for Albuquerque. Not only do we have two brand new fire stations, but I wanted to go back and reflect on the fact that when the university decided that yes, they could do a land swap, it was a land swap with a great community benefit. The clinic on North 4th is the same type of clinic that we now have at Unser and Central and Utah on the other side. They're great amenities, but they're also dedication, I think, on the part of UNM to do work in the community. Thank you. Councilor Benton is out of town, and he would have liked to have been here, but let me just reflect on a couple of things. We, the residents of District 6, will also be beneficiaries of this service. We will be able to be served by a modern, as you can tell, a wonderful apparatus. I believe it's a fire truck myself. But with this fire truck, we'll be able to get the kinds of services that we need along the Gibson corridor all the way to Kirtland Air Force Base, where it would then join up with other services there. When you think about it, the community doesn't care that we have boundaries. They just care that we take care of them. And that's what we're here to do. And I think Chief Breen, Mr. Riordan, everyone that looked at this didn't think about, you know, what is the prettiest place, what is the most convenient place. They looked at where can we serve this community best. And that's why I, as a representative of District 6, am glad to see some of the neighborhood association folks here. Clayton Heights, I believe I saw some folks from Victory Hills. So a lot of folks are interested because they'll be the ones that get this service. It'll serve us well not only because of the area of coverage, but it's also an area that is grown and will continue to grow. And it'll continue to grow because we are trying very hard, and I think we're succeeding in making this part of the city a very safe, and now with this, even safer, but also a place where people can feel comfortable coming and saying, I want to put down some roots, whether it's Kirtland Addition, whether it's, again, Clayton Heights or Victory Hills. People are saying, thank you for taking care of us. And Station 2, Station 7 speaks to that. It is the core of the city, and it's the part of the city that we cannot forget. Councilor Benton does regret that he won't be here for the ribbon cutting, but he did ask me if I would read a quote from him, and it just speaks to what he's done in the past. Quote, "I have been working to make this station a reality for the last 6 years, starting with my first tour at that small facility and saw the conditions of the old fire station too. I have worked since 2006 to secure funding from GO bonds, the Photo Enforcement Fund, impact fees, and general fund. I'm further committed to seeing that the old facility is decommissioned according to the proper prescribed practice and that its future use is in the best interest of the historic Union Highland neighborhood. It is now located, as you know, in that neighborhood. That has been my position, and I ask that the wishes of the community be honored. Thank you all for attending. Again, my regrets, I could not have been with you today." He had hoped that he would have been able to join, but was not able to come here. And I also want to give a shout out and make sure that we understand that apparatuses are great, stations are wonderful, but they're really nothing without the first responders. If we don't talk about the firemen, we don't talk about anything. It is the first responders who keep us safe. It is not an apparatus. It is the first responders who make sure that the fire is put out and the child is saved and property is taken care of. It's not a fire station. We want to make sure that the fire station is a safe place and a good working conditions for our firefighters. But never forget that all of this would be nothing without our firefighters. And I want to make sure that I believe Mr. Aaron Griego is here today. I know Diego Arancon would have loved to have been here. He suffered a tragedy recently, and sorry about that, because he is a wonderful person. And I want to make sure that the firefighters, and especially the firefighters who represent their brothers and sisters, are recognized. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Councilor. Thank you. It's nice to know as a mayor that when we have discussions about public safety that we've got a city council as an entirety who cares about the issue. We were talking about a new ladder truck for the west side. Now we have a new ladder truck for the west side. We're talking about new fire stations. We're talking about new fire trucks and apparatus. We're talking about SCBA, breathing apparatus for our firefighters. And it's good to know, and the community needs to know that we have public safety conversations. The differences get put to the side, and we work together, and today's a testament to that. Today's also a testament to the idea that we made some promises in our community about getting these facilities finished by the new year. And those are some tall orders. And to get the land swap done, to get the design completed, to get the 2 stations built and ready to go for today before the new year is an outstanding accomplishment. And a lot of that work falls upon our Department of Municipal Development. And Mike Riordan is here today, along with his team. I know he's going to introduce some of his project managers and some of the folks that were instrumental in the design and construction of this. This ends up being ultimately a public-private partnership. We've got a fantastic fire department, but we have a private sector architecture firm, a private sector contractor that came in here and built this facility. Jobs were created and public safety has been enhanced, and that's good news. But we called Mike in pretty early and said, we want to be, celebrating the holidays in these fire stations. So let's do what we can, and by golly, they got it done. So with that, I want to have Mike Riordan say a few words on behalf of his team. Mike.
Good job, Josh. You've been quiet never this long before. So, I usually start these by saying I believe I have the best job in the city of Albuquerque because I get to work with all of our departments and implement the things that allow them to serve the public. And today it just clinches it because working for this mayor, working for this council is just a true joy when you can get projects put together like a Paseo del Norte and I-25, when a fire station 2 and 7. It just takes a unique team, and I don't believe anybody else in the world could have done what we did on this project right here. Starting with the mayor and the chief and their initiative of we're not gonna piecemeal something to this. We're gonna do it right. We're gonna get the right funding together, and they did it. And that started off the key. Working with Rob Perry has been an absolute joy. Going to board meetings at UNM and having the regents really respond to a project like this, absolute joy every step of the way. Working with Kim Murphy and Greg Smith, who we've had a lot of contentious relationships in the past, but everything was put aside for this project, and we got it done. You get through the design phase with our local architect, and Decker Sabatini, thank you so much for completing this project today. Stephen James, who then took that project over through that design, is city architect, so thank him so much. He was here at every weekly meeting, making sure that the right brick was going in the right spot, the right coatings were going on the floors, and to get down to every piece of this today. So just a true honor to be out here today. I do want to thank also Scott Leonard and Chris Gunning in particular, and also the project superintendent or the project manager for this project, Ray Lopez. This project got started a little bit later than 7 because of the land exchange agreement and closing dates, and he actually finished it before Fire Station 7, so he did a wonderful job. A truly terrific professional team. Again, very honored to be part of this. So we did promise we were going to sing Christmas carols, but I'm not the one to do it. So if anybody out there has a voice to sing, we can certainly do it. But again, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, we're going to, that concludes our comments by officials today, and we're going to go right into Friday's Heroes. And for those of you who don't know what Friday's Heroes is, we started a tradition right at the very beginning of the administration where we wanted to stand up each and every week, and we wanted to honor the men and women that keep us safe, whether it's through the Albuquerque Fire Department, the Albuquerque Police Department. We also do Employee of the Week every Friday, and we generally do it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but today we thought that it would be absolutely fitting because we've got some firefighters today that we would like to honor. So we're going to go right into Friday's Heroes at this point in time. We have people that simply get up every day and risk their lives to make sure that we're safe. And I think Councilor Garduno, you made a good point earlier. They don't really care if they're coming out of station 15, 16, 17, 2, 3, 7. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if they're driving a new truck or one of our older trucks. What really matters is that firefighters show up and they absolutely save lives. And so I think it's really appropriate that today we'll be honoring several Albuquerque firefighters who risked their safety and well-being to save a man's life. The story I'd like to share with you today is really a reflection of pure dedication to this community. Today we will be recognizing Captain Chris Wade, and we'll be recognizing driver Chris Sereno, firefighter Josh Munson, firefighter Anthony Duran from Engine 9, Lieutenant Kevin, is it Lowry? Am I pronouncing that? Lowry? Lothry. Driver Matthew Quintana, also from Rescue 9. Just last month, Albuquerque Fire Department's Engine 9 responded to a fire at a local apartment complex. It's a fire that you probably saw on the evening news. The apartment complex was on fire. The building was 4 stories high, and there were still lots of tenants inside the building, unaware of the danger that they were in when firefighters arrived. Members of Engine 9 arrived on the scene to heavy smoke and flames billowing from the second floor apartment. They began scouring the building and were quickly joined by the members of Rescue 9 as they searched for victims. Continuing their search, they found a man who had collapsed, unconscious, and was surrounded by flames. The crew lifted him away from the blaze and got him transported to the University of New Mexico Hospital. While Engine 9 was attempting to put out the rest of the blaze, the crews were evacuating residents of the apartment complex. And many of the residents of this particular apartment complex were elderly with limited mobility, adding to the complexity and time-intensive process of evacuating everyone from the burning building. But despite these challenges, they were able to get everybody out of the complex safely. The members of Engine 9 were able to completely extinguish the fire within 20 minutes and were able to prevent the fire from spreading to other apartments. The male victim was treated for severe smoke inhalation and extensive burns to most of his body. He is currently recovering at UNMH and has said that he owes his life to AFD Engine 9 and to Rescue 9. And although this man did suffer from severe burns, the end result certainly could have been much worse, if not for the heroic actions of these valiant firefighters. So, you know, we're very proud of you, and we talk about this all the time. These are real people doing real things in our community, and a lot of times they're real dangerous, and they're really saving lives. And so we're going to honor these folks today. I'm going to ask Chief Breen to come up and give you a few more details, and then what we're going to do is we're going to hand out the Friday's Heroes coins, which we had commissioned specifically for this purpose, so that we can honor these fine firefighters. Chief, you want to tell us a few more of the details?
Thank you, sir. This was Thanksgiving Day night, and so everybody was everybody's bellies were probably full. I happened to be on duty that night, and I was driving home at about midnight, and I arrived at this fire with the first alarm assignment. Now, this is a 4 to 5 story apartment building with mostly elderly residents with limited elevator service, and so this was a very difficult fire problem to begin with. When I arrived on scene, there were heavy flames and smoke showing from a second-floor apartment, and what that means to us is that smoke typically gets into the hallway. It goes to the floors above. There's heavy smoke in all the hallways, floor 2, floor 3, and the 4th floor. And when I pulled up, I saw everything going the way that it should have been. Engine 9 and Rescue 8 did an outstanding job of sizing up the incident. They took command. They directed the inbound resources and what they were supposed to do. They evacuated residents from the hallway on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor before entering the fire apartment. Once they entered the fire apartment, they knocked down the fire while doing a primary search and rescue. They located an occupant and evacuated him from the building, literally saving his life. Just an outstanding effort. And given the location and the extent of the fire at this incident, this had the potential not only for firefighter injury, but for a great loss of life for the occupants that were in this building, especially given the elderly state and their inability to effectively evacuate themselves. And really, it was the expertise of the company officers and the skills of their crews that resulted in no other occupant of this building needing any other medical care. Really an outstanding effort. So it's my honor to recognize Captain Chris Wade. You can see he's wearing a white shirt today, recently promoted to battalion commander, whereas just where he needs to be. Does an outstanding job. Driver Chris Sereno, firefighter Josh Munson, firefighter Anthony Duran, and from Rescue 8, Lieutenant Clint Anderson, and driver Laura Sargent. They did a great job. It was just... And as a fire chief, when you pull up on one of these incidents and you see just the expertise and the skill level that effectively put this fire out in minutes, saved that life, no one else getting injured, it's really a testament to the company officers and the skill of these crew members. One of my proudest moments as a fire chief.
Chief, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now you know why Friday's Heroes is one of my favorite times of the week. I love Friday afternoons for this exact purpose. And people ask us when we started Friday's Heroes, do you think you'll be able to find a really good story every week? And you kidding me? I mean, we've got really great stories about our firefighters and our police officers in the city of Albuquerque. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your dedication to the citizens of Albuquerque. Thanks everybody for coming today. Thanks to the university. Thanks to our firefighters. Thanks to our contractors and our architects and everybody at the city of Albuquerque that really came together. And we did something really profound today. We did something really good for public safety. We came together and we showed folks how it can be done if you do it right. So thanks again for coming. And if you have a chance, we'll see you out at our second dedication today at Fire Station 7. Thanks for coming. 1, 2, 3. All right.